Oh, hi! Welcome back to our channel. Okay, you guys, this is going to be a two-part video. We're going to share with you some of the differences that we have experienced between back home in Canada, living in North America, versus here in Malaysia, over in Southeast Asia. We're going to share with you a handful of differences that we've noticed between the two different places.
We've been in Malaysia here for about 2.5 months, and as you can imagine, when you spend that much time in a totally different place, you're going to encounter all kinds of differences between your home culture and the new place where you're spending so much time. And it's really been a joy for us to experience this new place, this new culture, this new community, and all of the differences that comes along with that. And so we wanted to take some time today and share with you in these next couple of videos what some of these differences have been, the ones that have stood out to us.
Let's talk about food in restaurants. Yeah,
one of the key differences that we noticed fairly early on here is that when you arrive at a restaurant and they seat you, your waiter, waitress, they will wait for a period of time until they think you are ready to order everything in order to come back. So in North America, we're used to somebody coming very quickly after you've been seated and say, hey, can I get you anything to drink, or do you have any questions about the menu? And then they will go and get your drinks, and when they come back, they'll deliver them, and then they'll take your order. Here they wait for a period of time, and then they come back, and at that point, they want to take your order for everything. What you want to have to drink, what you want to have to eat, they want to take all of it, which is just a little bit different.
Yeah, and they were really kind to us because we would say, actually, could we order some drinks first? Could we get some waters? And they were very kind and they were accommodating to that. But you could tell they were like, why do you want to order your drinks first? But they were always very accommodating. The other thing we noticed at restaurants is that they bring your food to you in the order that is prepared. So it's not uncommon for one person to receive their meal and be like halfway through their food or finish their food entirely before the next person is delivered their meal.
So I guess if you're a person like me who has a tendency to eat quickly and you also are the person who gets your food first, you might be done when everybody else is still getting their meal.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of food, one of the things that we noticed as soon as we got here was that the packaged snacks and treats and sugary candy type things, chocolates, M&Ms, Skittles, was it Skittles?
Yeah, what else?
Those types of things, like candy, junk food, taste very differently here than what they do like at home. But the difference is there's less fake ingredients and less sugar in them here. So they actually don't taste like what we're used to, but when you look at the ingredients, they're probably better for you and they're not filled with as much garbage as what we've been accustomed to having at home.
Also, it can be seemingly the exact same candy with the exact same label, but it's made in a totally different place.
Yeah.
So we noticed that a lot of, say, chocolate snacks as an example, it might be M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, just like what we would be used to at home, and yet they're made in Australia as opposed to at home where they're made, I don't know where they're made, but not Australia.
Yeah. So I didn't like the taste of them as much here as I did at home, but then I was like, darn it, I've gotten used to all this junky crap in all my sugary treats. So yeah. One of the differences that kind of startled me when we got here was the use of lines or queues to like line up orderly and to get to the front of a queue until it's your turn. The use of those is different than what we're used to at home. One of the first weeks here, I was in a store making a purchase and I was in line, and about 3 or 4 people just walked up and cut in front of me and went to the cash register before me, before I realized, oh, this is like normal here. And it really threw me off. I actually put my purchases down and I walked out. At home, if that was to happen, the cashier would speak up and say, oh, excuse me, this person was in front of you, please get in line. And when that didn't happen repeatedly, I realized, oh, this is normal, so I'm gonna have to push and shove if I want to get a turn at the front of the line. And that just felt really different, very awkward actually, and uncomfortable for me. But it's just kind of part of the process here. Just push your way to the front of the line.
Yeah, public transit was another place where we noticed this similar type of thing. And this isn't just about here. We've noticed this in other places.
Yeah. Do
public transit in an orderly fashion, and then some places just don't. Yeah. And so when the door opens here, it's somewhat of a free-for-all, right? Like get on, get off, and there's no real sense of, okay, the group that's on the outside waits for the group that's on the inside to exit the train, and then they get on the train. No, it all happens at the same time. People are exiting at the same time as people are getting on, and sometimes it can feel a little bit chaotic.
See, so we're in North America, we're from Canada, which is the other extreme of, oh, after you, go ahead. So we really came from one extreme of like stepping out of the way and letting people leave to the other, and that was really jarring and actually made for some kind of uncomfortable moments, actually, especially when things were really congested and really crowded. It felt push your way through. Definitely not what we're used to. Okay, this one, I don't know if this is normal or if this was just a fluke, but we had to share this one because this one shocked us so much. We took the kids to go see a rom-com with Julia Roberts and
George Clooney. Ticket to Paradise.
Rom-com. Well, at home, when you go to the movies, all of the previews that you see leading up to your movie are a similar genre, or at the very least, a similar, if not the same, rating. Not so here. We literally were watching horror movie previews. Isabella had her ears plugged and I was shading her eyes, and I was facing her and covering my eyes. We could hear the it just sounded like horrific what was on screen. And then when we all was said and done, we all kind of looked at each other when the previews were done. We're like, what was that? And Jeff said, that was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
It was like, imagine going to see, Sleepless in Seattle, and the preview is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It was shocking. So if you're going to visit Malaysia and take your children to a movie theater, FYI, be prepared for anything during the previews because you never know what they're going to show you.
Yeah. So let's talk about cell phone packages. We're from Canada, and Canada has some of the most expensive cell phone packages on the planet. I mean that. I don't know if Canada is like right at the top of the list, but they are close to the top, if not in the top spot. Having a cell phone is super expensive. So for Maurice and I at home, we have a cell phone package that is, admittedly, it's a little bit more than what we specifically need. Meaning, we have more data than we could probably, have to have, and all those things. But our shared data for the both of us to have like unlimited everything costs us like $135 a month for us to have all the things that we have. Whereas here, we were able to get cell phone packages for all four of us in the family that includes unlimited local calling and basically unlimited data. It's like 30 gigabytes of data per person. And
unlimited social networks, which is really the majority of our data anyway. So unlimited Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, and it works out to be about $40 Canadian for all of us, for all four.
That's amazing.
That's crazy, the difference in the price, and pretty awesome. So Canada, get with the program, man.
Yes, come on. So another thing that was really interesting, so coming from Canada, we are a Commonwealth country, and so is Malaysia, but Malaysia still observes afternoon tea, and I thought that was really lovely. We don't, back in Canada, that's not a thing. There might be like a tea house you could go to for the very specific purpose if you want to have the experience of afternoon tea, but it's very common here on a lot of different restaurant menus to have an afternoon tea options with all the little sandwiches and treats and desserts and then your tea. And I thought that was really lovely, a really lovely piece of English heritage that made its way here. I mean, they've just, in the 60s?
Yeah, I think they've been like totally independent for like 60 years-ish, something like that.
So maybe the influence is stronger here because of the more recent breaking of ties, I'm not sure, but it was lovely. It was unexpected and it was lovely. We actually had our first experience with an afternoon tea here. I will link that video below if you want to watch it, but we took our girls while we were visiting this old French castle vibe in a village close to where we are. Here in Malaysia, we took them for an English afternoon tea and it was so lovely. Okay, we're about halfway down our list of differences that we've noticed. If you like this video, would you give it a thumbs up? And if you want to follow along on our journey, tap the subscribe button, be a part of our growing community here at I Am Loved. Okay, we're gonna stop there for this video. We do have some other differences that we will share with you guys in an upcoming video. But in the meantime, if you can think of anything else that we have overlooked, maybe you have visited here before and you have some thoughts, or maybe you are from Malaysia and you have also visited abroad and you've noticed some differences, we would love to hear them. So put them in the comments below and let's see what other differences you guys have noticed.
So thank you for watching. We hope that you enjoyed today's video, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.